Hello beauties. So today, in case you haven't noticed that I look a little different than usual, that would be because I teach high school and it was theme day. We were able to choose a decade. So I chose the 90s because that was my high school, middle school era. And probably, I mean, I love the clothes, obviously, but the best part to me was the makeup because that's the makeup that I grew up wearing. So I'm going to do my routine that I did for this morning that was just super 90s inspired. And then I'm going to update it in ways that I think would make it more flattering and something that we would be more likely to wear today. And I know that a lot of things, like when they say everything fashion recycles and stuff like that, I totally agree with that because it was hard for some of us teachers to tell if students were dressed as the 90s or if that's just what they were wearing because of the stretch pants. Now they're yoga pants, but stretch pants, and people wear Doc Martens and flannel, so it's a little hard to tell. But anyways, so I'm just going to show you a routine that I did that I think really emulated what I did in the 90s. So that makeup look, and then I'm going to make a couple changes to kind of update it so that I think it would be a little bit more flattering and more wearable, because it was super obvious, I mean with the clothes too, but it was whoa, 90s. So I'm going to start off with the liquid to powder foundation in Organza, which is my color. And I'm going to use the liquid foundation brush. I'm going to try it a different way. I shook it up and then I'm going to actually put it on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to just sort of dab here and then apply it to my face that way. I recall using very full coverage makeup, even though my skin was actually not that bad. I didn't really understand in those days. I'm gonna need a little more. I didn't really understand that I didn't need all that coverage. So I'm using a pretty full coverage or medium to full coverage foundation. And it's going to go to a powder finish, which is what I also wore. Especially because I was a teenager and teenagers tends to not have the highest quality skin. Sometimes it's breaking out with blemishes and such, and that's how mine was. Not badly, but, you know, enough to notice and enough to make me want to, you know, cover it up a little more substantially. So once I think I've gotten a good coat on here, and I also, we're going to use, hi pen, we're going to use concealer, but in my day, when we used concealer, so I'm going to use Organza because I'm using the same color as my skin, because we didn't do highlight and contour, and the concealer was really strictly for blemishes. So let me zoom you into my face. So I obviously clearly haven't escaped the blemishes with age. So I have a blemish there, and I have one up here, and I didn't really do my under eyes because as a teenager I was never really doing anything that exciting, and I didn't really have to cover up my under eyes, but now I am not a teenager. So let's cover these bad boys up. So again though, not highlighting or contouring, just straight up using the same color foundation as I am concealer. So I'm just making my, look at that, that's so beautiful. This is what they look like. Ooh. It looks nice. Okay, so just to cover up the fact that I got a completely adequate amount of sleep, but I am still exhausted. Life exhausts me now. All right, so now we're going to get to the good part, or the good parts. Okay, so this is what I did. Again, doesn't mean everybody did this. It's just what I wore. I did not do a highlight contour. I did not do blush either. You just tried to clear your skin up as best you could, and that was, you know, it with your skin. Some people did use higher coverage powder foundations as well. So I could see if you would do that as well. Now, I was not going to overpluck my brows and lose all of the progress that I've made. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pencil in, because this is my brows naturally, so I'm not like covering them up or anything, but we did overpluck back in the day. So what I did this morning is I literally just kind of like drew a line through them and just to like define, and that was it. So I didn't comb through it anymore with the spoolie. I didn't try to make them look any thicker, because back then that is not what you did. You plucked these bad boys. I'm sorry if you hear those footsteps. Penny's running around and I'm not entirely sure why. The mail already came, so I'm not sure what she's doing. Okay, so it's hard to like not fill them in more. Okay, so just lined brow, like line brows, like nothing brushed through, nothing, you know, no other products. You just had thin brows and that was the way to go. Okay, so for the eyes, love this. Okay, so our eyeliner is meant to be 24 hours a day, and it sets so that it stays. So for this was a little tricky, because this is not the, like I would have used like a much crappier liner. So what I'm gonna do is line thickly, of course, and then smudge right away before it sets. So I'm lining and then I'm smudging. And then I'm gonna line. And then I'm gonna smudge. And still try to keep it semi-flattering. Then I'm gonna line. And then I'm gonna smudge. Alright, and then same for the bottom. Waterline and below. Line. And smudge. And again, this will set, so you have to do it right away. That's why I'm doing like each portion right as I do it, so that it doesn't like set and then not budge. Okay, oh yeah, that's glorious. Okay, let me do the other one. Okay, so now both eyes are done and sufficiently smudged. Now for lip liner. I cannot find my pouty lip liner. That is what I would use. But I have a NYX in mauve, I think it's mauve. Anyways, and that's what I would have used. So I would have lined my lips. Okay, and sometimes you would just leave it at lining your lips. Like, let's just be honest with each other here. And this is very much a color that has come back thanks to like Kylie Jenner and stuff, because this was totally like a 90s thing. This like brownie mauvey type color. And it was usually, it wasn't shiny. It was a lipstick or it was a lip pencil that was just sort of like blended in. Okay, and this is how I left it. This is what I wore today to my Decades Day for 90s. And this was exactly what we did. We may have added some mascara, but it wasn't, like lashes weren't a big deal. We didn't prime anything, especially not in high school, because we didn't have that kind of like makeup knowledge. So we didn't prime anything, and this, you know, this was my like Gwen Stefani interpretation, like the 4 like knot type Johns. And then of course in the 90s you always had like a tendril on each side that just fell out, and it's just so mysterious. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to now make some changes to it that I would honestly make now if I were to wear this. Okay, so first thing is first, we are thickening up these brows. So using the brow pen, I have the color dark, or brow pencil I mean. I have the color dark, and I am just kind of feathering it through and filling them in. And then I am using the spoolie to help sort of spread the product around and make sure that this is the ideal shape that I want, and that I am making every part of it. Okay, so not just a line, filling them in. All right, so now we have decent brows. Then I'm gonna go in with my favorite blush of the moment, which is Sweet, which is kind of like a peachy blush. And I'm not gonna overdo it, but I am gonna give myself some color. Just brighten that up a little bit. All right. All right. Okay, I know this is hard because you're trying to like, I'm trying to like make down what I have done to myself. Okay, so, and it's hard to add makeup and actually like make something less, you know, crazy. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going into my favorite palette, which is the Moonstruck palette 2. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Honorable on my crease brush, and if I'm gonna make this a smoky eye, that is fine, but I am going to put color in the crease. Which would be a transition color. I'm not just going to have this insanely dark color really close to my eye and have like nothing in between. I would not do that. So this is in and above my crease. I'm using the crease brush, the color Honorable, which is like a matte taupey light brown type of color. So, I mean, clearly we've chosen a smoky eye. Let's just go with it, but let's make it better. Okay, so adding that already adds a little bit more dimension to it. Now to slightly lighten it up, I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to use the dark brown color Cocky, and I'm going to now push that into the lash line and put it on the lid. Okay, because I am quite fair-skinned, and that doesn't mean that I can't do a black smoky eye, but I really should have it be a little bit more subtle and blended out as opposed to so stark. So it is still a smoky eye, and it is still, you know, quite formidable, but I'm going to make it a little more approachable by blending in that dark brown and having that Honorable in the crease. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the under eye to soften it a little bit, add some of that Cocky color, the dark brown. Okay, so I'll do the same thing to the other side. All right, so the eyes are softened quite a bit, but again, still very much a smoky eye. I'm going to go for it, and I'm just going to remove the lip liner because personally I think it's like too much on me. So I'm using one of our Shine Eye Makeup Remover cloths, but just makeup in general, removal cloths. Because I would definitely go with something more natural looking and a little less, I don't know, bold. So I'm going to do Luxe Lip Gloss, which to me is like the perfect, like nudie, peachy, pinky, just, it suits like so many skin tones, and I just think it's really pretty. Okay, next, mascara. No joke. Curl those lashes and put on mascara. We love lashes, and it's actually kind of amazing how mascara can really ground a look. Like it can really make it, I don't know, just seem more attainable and flattering. Okay, so we're going to add 1 to 2 coats of our 3D Fiber Lash Mascara. So I'm curling the lashes because that is an important step. Okay, then I'm going to put transplanting gel. And then go right to the fibers. And if you feel like you get too many fibers, you can kind of like put it onto your hand a little bit just to push them in a little bit. And then again, I only do like the tips. Oh, sorry, I was completely blocking you. I apologize. And then add that, and then do the same to the other side, and then wait a couple of minutes, like let the fibers set before you put your next coat of gel on so that it has a chance to really get in there. Okay, so I added the last of the mascara, so this is what those little buns will do to your hair. So, sorry about that. But we're going to try to make this look a little more normal, a little more current. So, I am I took it out of those 4 little buns, and I'm just going to make it into one bun or ponytail full of kind of semi-wild hair. And I also took out my like longer dangly earrings out of the first hole, and I just put in like a little baby one. I actually got these on Amazon. Sorry, Penny's excited. And I actually got these on Amazon, and they're super cute. They're called like 2mm. I'll link them below. But anyway, I think they're really subtle, and very cute. I also took off the necklace just to kind of keep it a little more chill, and then I'll just use a couple bobby pins down below to fix some of my stray hairs that are not quite short enough to, or not quite long enough to fit into the ponytail. And then that is it. This would be my wearable version of the 90s inspired look. So I hope you guys thought this was interesting and entertaining, and please like and subscribe and give me any suggestions that you would like to see for videos. So thank you so much. Bye.